What's up, everybody? So, gotta make sure that we're live on the platforms because when I went on one, it was showing the re-air. So, want to give everybody a couple of seconds. If you're hearing us, say hello, say what up, though. I am Sonia. I'm back live, guys. Shout out to B and James who held it down while I was gone for the last couple of weeks. Celebrating with Pearson. We'll talk about her momentarily, all the good things. Thank you so much, B. You're awesome. Um, okay, yep, looks like I see us all now. So thank you guys so much for that. And welcome to our platform. Got a lot of stuff going on, but happy Father's Day to you guys. And for those who are fathers, uncles, father figures, and those of us who have fathers that have gone on. And grandfather's happy Father's Day. Also, let's see, let me make sure I got everything. Happy 8th birthday to Lawson. Thank you guys for following his page, Lawson Snickers. I know B and James, you guys always support his page, so thank you so much. Lawson, he'll be over here in a minute to show off his new Braves jersey. Braves are teeing off at 10 against San Francisco later after our podcast airs. But anyway, before we went live, guys, we were actually talking about some big news out of Detroit. It almost feels like it's unfathomable to hear some of the things that go on. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you have to think about these are humans. And, like my grandmother always said, humans, will fail you every time. Only God is who you could depend on. So if you think of it like that, um, these people are definitely not infallible, no matter how much money they make. We'll talk about two of them specifically tonight. We'll start off with Mr. Porter out of Detroit. We'll start off with that one because that seems to be the more serious of the offenses. B, I mean, as a Lions fan, I was really floored because, you guys, Terry and Arnold, I said Porter, my bad. Terry and Arnold's who I'm speaking about. I guess he ported himself into Florida right now, facing incredibly severe criminal charges that could carry a life sentence, y'all. Like, this is no joke. And for those people who don't know, Florida is one of these states that if you have a serious enough offense, they don't do parole down there. They just hand you straight life without parole or the death penalty. That's it. That's Florida. And a lot of people forget that Florida is still the South. It does not matter. Florida is the most southern of the United States. But he's 23 years old, guys, being held without bond in, go figure, Hillsborough County, which is the county I was just watching the Julio Fulio trial that they just handed out full life sentences to those guys like it was candy. They were all facing the death penalty. So I will probably be seeing Judge Rizzo real soon because they only have like two ladies down there that's always there. But anyway, this is Tampa Bay, guys. Tampa police actually 8 total felony charges, 4 counts of kidnapping, 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon. This happened in February of this year, you guys, where he was with a group basically, and they burglarized the house. And they reported that more than $250,000, $250,000, $250,000 in losses to the police, $100,000 in cash, and $80,000 luxury necklace. So they definitely hit a lick, as they say. They really knew where to hit up to get that type of bag illegally. But then they said that they believe that he hired a personal driver. Basically, and I'm sorry, I'm reading because I don't know all the details, so I'm having to read this a little bit tonight. Believing that their hired personal driver and 2 other men were responsible for the actual theft, and him and his associates actually orchestrated, which is conspiracy. Shout out to my criminal law professor. I'm taking criminal law right now. Just talked about conspiracy with orchestrating and retaliation plot. And the retaliation is where it gets really crazy. 3 victims were lured to an apartment where they were jumped, pistol whipped, and held at gunpoint by Arnold's associates. Now, this is the crazy thing. Certain states, you don't have to be there when the crime goes down if you're one of the orchestrators. If you were an accessory before the fact, if you are a conspirator, just because you're not present, and Florida is one of those states, does not mean that you cannot be criminally charged as a principal in fact, not a principal second part, because you basically were the mastermind behind the scene. They said he wasn't at the apartment at the time, but investigators allege he was a primary conspirator. I didn't even get that part. See, there you go. Notes coming in handy. And he watched the entire ordeal via a live stream that his crew set up to make sure, basically, here you go, boss. We want you to see this is happening. Police later cleared the driver and two other victims, confirming they had absolutely nothing to do with the original burglary. Because just because you know about a burglary or you see it doesn't mean that you're a part of the act. But this is crazy. Both the League and the Lions organizations released brief statements about it, saying they're fully aware of the legal situation, but they're refraining from further comment out of respect for the ongoing legal process. You ain't got to even worry about it. He's not going to get a bond. He's not going to get a bond. So y'all don't have to speak on it at all. He's just going to fade out of existence. B, I'll let you start on this. First of all, the as they say, the unmitigated gall and the balls of somebody to go into somebody's house, and you're a freaking NFL player that are worth millions yourself. And like, I don't know, like, is this drug related? Is there something going on that we're not aware of as, people that just watch sports?
No, it's just him being dumb. Like I said before we got on air, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And this is exactly what Terry and Arnold deserves, because and I've seen this coming. Because first of all, he had a whole bunch of accomplices in this. And this was starting to turn anyway. All somebody had to do was get charged with something that was going to say, oh, no, dog, I can't be doing life in prison. Nope. If I'm going down, you going down with me. And that's what happened. Everybody turned on him, and that's exactly what he got. So I don't know what he was thinking. And then he got the wrong people. Boy, you got to be dumb. If you went and you robbed somebody that wasn't the actual people who robbed you, and then you robbed somebody that they weren't the ones. Man, you didn't do any investigation. All that damn money that you could have saved, you could have found out who the real people were and then got them. I'm not saying that would have been any better, but the point of the matter is you just three innocent people, basically. You pistol whip.
Oh, so this is how this all stemmed from, like, retribution of some sort? I was wondering how he randomly chose this house.
And then his excuse is, oh, well, I was waiting for the police to do their job, and they didn't do their job, and so this is what happened. That's basically what the system is about. The whole, thing is about, because the police didn't do their job immediately. Well, they're not going to solve a crime immediately. No police department can do that. It's just, the dude just did dumb stuff, and I'm surprised the Lions haven't cut him already. I don't understand what they're saying that they're going to reserve, wait until the process is already done. He's caught up. He's screwed. So you could just forget him coming back to this team. So just cut him and let that go.
Well, due process is due. I mean, he's denying it to the fullest, he and his lawyer as well. I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent, but it looks damning when you have FaceTime and streaming. But the thing is, I agree with you both that this is stupid, because if you're going to do something like this, you definitely don't stream anything, and you don't FaceTime anything. I mean, what does he think this is? New Jack City? I mean, what is he? Some sort of gangster? I mean, wannabe? They watch too much TV on. I mean, people think and you got a lot of yes men around him. Instead of somebody just saying, "Man, this is not a good idea to do this." I mean, because I found out that Airbnb, that's what it was, Sonya. He has an Airbnb, and they were robbed there at his Airbnb. That's what it was. And so all the stuff that was in the house.
He was originally a victim himself.
Yes, it was his money that was stolen. Yeah, it was. I mean, his goons or whatever. All their stuff was stolen out of the house.
Airbnb, basically.
It was in his Airbnb. Which doesn't make sense to me. If you have an Airbnb, I heard another player online, Emmanuel Ocho. that he had an Airbnb. I'm saying, why would you put that? But they have insurance on it. You can claim that. I mean, say as long as you can prove receipts and everything else, you can get money back from. That's what's stupid about this.
You
And
know what?
so,
We are gonna. I'm sorry, James. I just want to make this point real quick because I'm gonna forget it. This is the second, maybe third crime that centers around an Airbnb in Tampa. Airbnb is probably going to at some point get involved and stop allowing Airbnb to be done in Tampa because that's how the whole Julio Fulio trial started. Julio Fulio was streaming from Airbnb and he went live and the would be killers were they screen recorded and just like y'all said they give their case to the prosecutor. They screen recorded everything they did and had it on their phones that goes to your iCloud and then toss the phone somewhere. And all they had to do was go and they took pictures of the burner phones they were buying. It was ridiculous. But I'm saying this all started at Airbnb, and as a result, Sean Gaithright, one of the main shooter, was screen recording his searches of different Airbnbs with the pool in the background based off the live stream. Crazy stuff, crazy-ish. And so, yeah, James, go ahead.
I'm going to say that a lot of this stems from how Gen Zs are growing up. They're growing up with the phones and social media in their hands. It is difficult for them to let that go. To not say, like when people say that this is stupid, it's usually a millennial, a Gen X, or a baby boomer that's saying that doesn't make any sense because we didn't have that in our hands. We didn't have, it wasn't embedded in our mindset, in our psyche, our thought process. This is embedded in it. It's a part of them. They don't even write in cursive. So everything's a text message. Everything's an acronym. Everything is everything about social media. So that anything you might have, say for instance, if you're arrogant, if you're someone who's potentially a narcissist, it's going to be exponentially expanded because of social media. They can't let that go. And I mean, even if it doesn't make sense to be that stupid. And that's like Beeb said, that is the most boneheaded thing I've heard. If you're gonna do some criminal activity, you want to make sure that, I mean, especially if you're the breadwinner, you are the breadwinner, most likely in your family. You're taking care of people. All this is like you got too much on the line. It doesn't make any sense. That's just totally stupid. Yes. But
They give out cell phones with birth certificates now. I think they send all babies home with a brand new device. Yeah. Oh, don't forget your phone. We just want to make sure we got the name recorded correctly. Yeah, but don't forget your phone. It's fully charged.
Right.
And then not only are they giving the phone, they're signing the birth certificate and they're signing a T-Mobile service as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Go right along with it.
Even better. Lifelong contract. $50 for life. I mean, but y'all, it just, I don't know, because he's new to the league. He's new to the league. It just cannot be 1,000% generational, y'all. This has got to go down to, because technically these are our kids. These are the kids we raised. You know, we're parents of 23-year-olds. You know, so this is our fault. This is us three. These are our kids.
Hey, I have none. You and I have none. Well, you mean speaking general? In general, yeah.
I would have to say that is
not everybody. Not everybody.
True. No, I think you got to remember something. Throughout time, doesn't make a difference what generation you are. Your kids, you can teach your kids everything. The way people forget, kids are individuals. Those turn into individuals. They're going to have individual thought processes. Whether they hear stuff from you or not, they're going to do what they're going to do. Just like me and James always said when we were younger, we would do dumb stuff. Fortunately, we didn't have clamor phones then, or we would do that stuff. But I'm just saying,
I did stuff.
We did that. We knew we were brought up right by our parents, but that doesn't mean that we weren't individuals. We could do stuff on our own. So I'm not buying that either.
I have to agree with both of you here. On one hand, Sonia, you're right in regards to this being like a generational thing. I mean, let's go B first. B, you're right. Almost every generation has had some situations where we've done dumb things, and thank goodness we didn't have social media in our time because it would be more exposed. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, they do have the social media now, and it's part of their generation, it's part of their upbringing. And unfortunately, this particular generation has been deemed, pardon that noise, sorry, y'all. This generation has been deemed the dumbest generation that's out of all the ones that we've talked about because it's going backwards. I mean, they're more dependent on these tablets. They're more dependent. They don't write in cursive. There's a lot of things that showing studies that are actually showing that it's just messed them up. What does it say? Imagine social media.
So they're turning
What's up,
crack.
Barbershop Talk? How y'all doing? And what's up, Marcus, my brother? And yeah,
Woo.
I mean, I totally agree. So let me clarify.
There'd be a lot of cracky tales going on for sure.
Yeah, it's so riled up because like when we grew up, we're like, okay, we're a product of the prior generation. It's just normal chronological genealogical order. So whereas I know I had good upbringing because my grandparents made sure of that, and my dad and my uncles, and I was not raised in a two-parent household, and I still did a lot of stuff, got caught for a lot of stuff even without social media. But guess what, even with it didn't take, I wasn't a kid that did every single thing. It was like one or two things, and that was enough for me to come on back to the foundation. Because if you have the foundation, no matter how far you stray, if you have the proper foundation, you are going to return. Just like the prodigal son, you're going to return every time. It's just like a house built on a foundation. When a house burns down, they don't dig up the foundation. The insurance company comes in and they level it out and use that same foundation because the foundation is never destroyed. And it's the same thing with what I'm saying now. This is our generation. And even though I don't personally have kids, I've helped raise my nieces. I've helped raise my nephew, especially the nieces. And I've been hands on. Everybody that knows me knows I've been hands on in every single way. Distance did not deter me. So that is one reason why I am immensely grateful that my niece has kept herself level headed because there's a lot going on out here in this world. And even if she wasn't my niece, any young person out there that I see has their head on straight, that is getting their grades, that is not trying to be into boys or girls or whichever way, or trying to, everything is on live, everything is articulated. We live in a generation that everything is documented. I tell people there's no secrets anymore. I really feel, and forgive me, people, if you're sensitive about what I'm about to say, if people could stick something up their butt and film it, they would film their insides. I feel like they'd film everything. It's too much. Every time I log on to Instagram now, I'm seeing where somebody is unalive, live on TV. Back when we were growing up, they had a show called Faces of Death. You had to show your ID to check that out. That was on VHS only, and that was not just out to the public. I saw a video this morning, and people sometimes, I guess, just don't mean to put stuff, but they do. A bride going to get married in Brazil on a helicopter, and they were filming her inside the helicopter. Why? Why publicize that captured film where that helicopter crashed 1 mile before it got to her guest? Why show that? Why show that? It is ridiculous because we've become desensitized. And I know we kind of strayed a little bit from the part, but just this live streaming thing, it's almost like bragging rights. It comes from this drill rap music that starts out. They unalive somebody and they go rap about it. And they give you the verbatim thing that they've done. And this is what Arnold is doing. If you sat up here and you've wanted a recording proof of it, well, guess what? Now that proof is in the hands of the prosecutors. And even though we want to stay innocent until proven guilty, if you see a person there, it's not about proving guilty as far as whether or not they did it. That's the thing that people don't always understand. I didn't understand it until I started studying different things. It's not about when you see a person and you say, oh, they're not guilty. No, they were found not guilty. There is a difference. It does not mean they did not do whatever they were accused of. It was that the prosecutor did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt every single element of that crime. And a prosecutor has a high burden, and they usually have about 5 or 6 things they have to prove. And if they miss just one, then the defendant is not guilty. And that's where it gets crazy. So it's not that they didn't do it, because you can have somebody on film like just this situation right here. But if he has a good defense team, they'll find a loophole some kind of way. I don't know what it is, but this is just unnerving to know that you took the law in your own hands. No one as a citizen doing an arrest these days. And even if you were, why not detain them and call the police? Why pistol whip them, rob them, kidnap them with a weapon, then you somewhere watching it? This was very premeditated. It was very well planned. And the first act of being convicted is the mens rea, which is the mental planning, the intent behind it. So they've already checked that box off right there. But B, I know you said the Lions are not making a statement. The NFL is not making a statement. They're letting everything just go as planned. And I know they are sick of it. If we as people, I know the NFL is just sick of every few months or so, it's some player somewhere that's, if they're not speeding and running from the police, they're running over people, unaliving them in their cars, or they're dealing with drugs, or they're beating up their significant others or their kids or what have you, or shooting at somebody. It's always something. And I'm beginning to think, because if you think about it, guys, we know NFL players from years. We've been watching NFL our whole lives. And I don't remember a time where it's just so much drama and law breaking at one time. I mean, we'd hear about Andre rising here, or this person here, but not all of this back to back. It's like we've talked about this several times just this year.
Mm-hmm. One player per team. It's got to be messed up. That's the requisite now to be in
the quota.
That's the quota. Yeah. He's not, and he's not Nino Brown. He's Nino Dumb. That's what he is.
I mean, I'll say this. I just think, first of all, innocent until proven guilty again. He's there. I think the pretrial deposition or whatever is coming up Monday. They're going to have it Monday,
which is probably
to see if he'll be able to get out on bail or not. And so I don't know, man. It sounds bad. It sounds really bad. And I really don't know what to say about this. And I don't think the NFL cares. I think their bottom line is the money. They understand what the situation is with these players. Let's just be real. You're going to have, like B said, maybe one per team, two per team. These guys play a violent sport for a living. And so I'm not going to say that this is a situation like with the Brandon Ayuk situation, like Antonio Brown, these guys having CTE symptoms or anything like that. But you have to, again, innocent until proven guilty. If he's guilty, he deserves whatever. They pistol whip these people. So, that weren't even guilty of anything. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. So if he's guilty, he's going to get some time, a good bit of time.
Yeah, and then Lawson's finally over here with his Braves. Go Braves! Go Braves! Lawson's little Brave shirt. He just decided to come over. Looking like a true Braves player, right? Jump on, Lassie. I just wanted to say, as we get ready to segue from him, his representatives are actually coming out saying, that they're dependent on, the state is dependent on, Florida's who I'm talking about, the main witnesses are co-defendants. Those are your worst witnesses, bro. Because if your accomplices have now started turning state's evidence, there's no better witness than your co-defendant. Because your co-defendant can tell stuff that they wouldn't even think of finding or looking for had your co-defendant not opened their mouth. So, and it's two of them. So it's and they're not going to be questioning them in the same room. So that's going to make it even more believable. They've probably already signed an affidavit. They call them proffers. When they file them with the state, it's a sworn statement that says this is what happens. And they have them separated when they do it. And I guarantee you, before they decided to go this far, they looked at both statements and they were like, yep, both stories check out. These guys haven't even been around each other. They could not have corroborated this. So these two guys have already pled guilty. So their case is adjudicated, which means they probably got some type of probated sentence in a form. And because they want the big fish, they want um, Arnold, and they want to give him life. And I'm telling you, with 8 charges, even with one charge carries life, it is highly difficult to overcome this much. And of course, his defense counsel saying he's denying any involvement just because he wasn't there. And they maintain his complete innocence. And they claim that the state is just relying on these witnesses that are convicted felons who have incentives to shift blame, which is a plea agreement. And so that's according to NFL.com. The state attorney's office did file pretrial detention motion to argue that Arnold should remain in custody without bail. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to get a bail. Not with this. Not when you have co-defendants that's already stand against you, because they're going to be worried about witness intimidation. There's 4 things that they consider for bond factors, bail factors in pretty much every jurisdiction. And it's flight risk, like if you're going to abscond from the court, witness intimidation. The third one is if you are predisposed to commit future crimes while you're out on bond. That's 3. And then the fourth one is if you have solid ties to the community. And so, yeah, what'd you say, James?
I was about to say, if he's decided to go find the actual people that robbed him, they're watching this right now laughing.
Yeah.
You got the wrong people.
They took all that out of there because you know what he came to court dressed in? A green jumpsuit. You know what a green jumpsuit means? Suicide watch. That's what that means. So he ain't going nowhere. And that's another reason they not only took away the bond, they obviously said something to the fact that made them put him in his own cell without, oh,
he's separated. Yeah.
Separated. Yeah.
Because their colors are red. They wear red in Hillsborough County. So if he's got on a different color, he's definitely in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he had a green one on. Everybody else had the red on or the bright orange or whatever the hell color that is. But yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, turtle suit. You got it right. There you go. Turtle suit. Yeah,
so while we're speaking about legal drama, before we go to the break, man, this 28 minutes went by fast. I can't believe it. Jeez, we spent a lot of time on Mr. Arnold here. Brandon Ayuk, I literally don't know. James kind of led to this, and I was going to bring him up next. He was on live today basically saying, he's fired his agent back in November. He doesn't have an agent. He's been all over the place, all over social media. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver, serious off-field trouble. Basically, he has a arrest warrant issued by Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office over a misdemeanor charge of the speeding that we talked about. But he's been on social media basically saying, he ain't going to no court. Basically, insulting a district attorney out there, that type of thing. And he even recorded himself speeding, going over 100, and uploaded it to his social media as well, and tagged the district attorney's office, like basically in your face. So he says he is avoiding returning to California because he thinks the warrant is still open, and he remains on reserve left squad list, stalling out potential trades negotiations when he's actively said he wants to go to the Commanders. So he's basically put up a video today or yesterday telling the 49ers go ahead and cut him so the Commanders can pick him up. But dude, you are like wanted. Even though it's a misdemeanor, now you're like snub in your face. It's just unreal. It's unreal, guys.
You Bobby.
He's silly.
I don't know, man. It's Brandon Ayuk is. I think he needs that green jumpsuit, to tell you the truth, but for mental reasons, not for suicide watch. And you're gonna say, "Oh, the Commanders are gonna say, no, they're not. You done messed all that up, buddy. You messed that all up. You can think that. I'm hope you can think that, but you're not going to get hired by them either because you just done messed all that up. And then all this stuff about you drive one on every team. You know what I'm saying, James? One on every team. We just had one on Atlanta. He got cleared though, fortunately, because he's doing some programs. But other than that, it's like I'm just waiting for the next team.
Man, look, Brandon Ayuk is he's not a special case, but I mean, maybe he is a special case. I mean, I don't know, in more ways than one. I just I don't understand it. I mean, this we talked about this guy last year, giving up $27 million, and I knew something was off. I said something's not right. There's
Yep.
no way anybody coming from nothing to something, and you get a 4-year, $120 million contract. You just got to show up to the meetings to show that you're there, and you make your 27 million, and you can't do that. Something's off. Something's not
Mhm.
right. And the driving by the stadium 100 and plus 35 miles an hour, and the weird videos and saying you got the 49ers money, and you only got 50 million or whatever. I mean, that's a lot of money, but I'm just saying you dropping the rest of it. Obviously he's mad about the 27 million, and just stupidity, just saying you're going to go to the 40, I mean to the Commanders if they let you go. I mean this is a billionaires club. These guys are in cahoots to make sure that the billions stay within the NFL. It's you against them, homie. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win at all. The way you're playing yourself, he might have just played himself out of the league. He might. I mean, speaking of somebody else, might have played himself, never even got to the league. Brendan Sorsby, that's a whole nother one, another situation, and that's a
Yes.
segue. But this guy, I mean, I don't know, man. And it's unfortunately it's a waste of talent. Brandon Ayuk is a very talented wide receiver. He is a reason they paid him a lot of money, even though he wanted more money than that. But he got 4 years, 120 million. That's 30 million a year. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you getting that, you weren't number one, but you're very good. Who was it? It was George Kittle was interviewed recently saying he right now that he was at some maybe like about in the middle of this past season. Brandon Ayuk was somewhere they clocked him at 22 miles an hour. He's like, wow, he's still definitely running fast. But then he said afterwards, it's like, good luck with that. That could be taken any kind of way. From what I understand, it's just like I guess any team that wants to take him up, he's saying good luck with that. And George Kittle don't say nothing bad about nobody. He stands up for all his players, and for him
Right.
to say that,
He
it,
really does.
it tells me that there's something going on more to it. Like they're probably fed up because most of these locker rooms, they're closely knit, especially the 49ers.
Yeah, like
It's
a
kind of
brother.
weird that they starting to back away from him. Something's wrong. A lot of the old 49 players are saying something too. Dante Whitner and some other guys come out saying things about it. It's even what's his name that played
Very
there after
nice.
he played. No, Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman. He
Oh,
said
sure.
something too. He played with them too. Sherman said something too about it, and it's just like, nah, something's going on. So,
I,
and my thing is, hopefully somebody can get to him because he won't let nobody get to him. Nobody has really been able to do like wellness checks and get next to him and just say, "What are you doing?" That kind of
Sherm
thing. Reach
may
out.
be able to. I mean, y'all know he held up his whole family. So my thing is like, Sherm, if you're not saying something that you can assist him, you don't need to say anything because we watched your whole in-laws get held up in the house by you. And you were able to bounce back clearly, thank God. But once something is out there, people will be quick to have revisionist history. So if he's coming from a place of being, negative, he shouldn't. He should be trying to be a place of, restitution for what has occurred to try to bring him back in. Like, hey, I've been there. But I don't know. I'll have to look at that. That's really wild. And then you talk about Sorsby. I mean, this dude is banned from the NCAA, like, period.
He's banned from everywhere right now, even the
Yeah.
CFL. B, you mentioned that a while back. CFL came out and said he is not coming up here either. And so, I mean,
because they got
UFL
strict rules.
might be yes, they got, and that's what they alluded to saying that. He said they said none of our teams will be going after him if they're thinking about it. They can't do it.
It's crazy because he was betting in college. Like, this is what I'm saying. Technically, in college, everybody's a kid. You know, you just get involved in all kind of stuff. But they said he had over 9,000 wagers totaling like $90,000. He had like 40 bets on an Indiana football game while he was a freshman on their roster. And even though he didn't specifically play, he was on the roster. And then he went through he had like a medical loophole, a little bit, a legal and medical loophole, because he did go into residential treatment for gambling addiction. And then he turned around and sued the NCAA and actually secured a temporary court injunction where they could not freeze him anymore, and it allowed him to come out and play for Texas Tech in 2026, and that's where we saw him again. But then, after national backlash coming out, and a bunch of conferences and people coming out, it's always the witnesses like, "Hey, but didn't you?" Now it's like, okay, the NFL's like, let's go ahead and get ahead of this. Wasn't there a team that had said he could come and like play with them for the summer or something, like tryout or something?
I thought it was the Ravens that said that at first.
Yeah, it was. And now,
said that at first, yeah.
Yep. And all of a sudden, it's a wrap. Merry Christmas early. And the NFL actually notified all 32 teams and Sorsby that it will not hold a supplemental draft for him. And they noted that he filed a petition with insufficient documentation when he tried to come after the NCAA litigation. So I don't know if this dude just don't have a good lawyer, or he's trying to represent himself and save money. But they said he's basically the big thing is he's not taking accountability, and they were willing to like kind of overlook some things, but his actions since this all has happened and continues to occur is his lack of quote integrity and accountability. But he's going to the 2027 NFL draft to try entering the league then, but he's banned for this year.
So Mike Florio, a former lawyer or current lawyer, I believe, but he's still he's on the NFL NBC. He said there's currently nothing that indicates that the NFL should have done what they've done to not hold it. For what they're saying, the reason why they said they weren't going to hold it, there's no rules in the CBA. And so he and his lawyer are actually going to likely try to file a suit with the NFLPA to try to go against that. So just be on the lookout for that. So I think they may try to get him, or they may force the NFL's hand.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, ain't gonna force the NFL's hand. That's the Shield. You ain't forcing the Shield's hand. The Shield has made their decision. That's it.
They said Sorsby's attorney is actually Jeffrey Kelser. He publicly slammed the NFL and the violating of the CBA and antitrust law, and that they're promising to pursue immediate action alongside the NFLPA. This is like as of right now. This just came out. And they said, as it stands, one of college football's most prominent quarterback transfers has been left completely sidelined with nowhere to play for the upcoming season. But I think they thought they made a concession by telling him he could try out in 2027, which is still not a permanent ban, but it's just for now. But his lawyer's like, that's not a concession enough, and we want him in here this summer. So they'll probably file that maybe tonight, because, it's always work going on.
I'm going to tell you something about the NFL and how much of a tight-knit community they are. Okay, so say they win this injunction, and he's able to play on a team. Nobody's going to get him. You want to know why? Nobody's going to draft him, because he's going to be blackballed for a year. I guarantee you the CFL in Canada, who is totally separate outside of the NFL, I guarantee you the NFL commissioner called their commissioner and say, hey, buddy. And they were like, yep, don't worry about it. We ain't got it. And I'm telling you, the UFL is going to be next. The UFL is going to be, because that's direct product.
Yeah, it's the Rock, right
there. Yeah, that's a direct product of the NFL right there. So they're definitely not going to have him on there either. he's just gonna be blackballed for a year. And he's going to have to face that, whether they can do all kinds of injunctions, they can do this, they could do that, win this and win that. No team's going to get him. Even if they have a supplemental draft, they're just not going to get him because they're going to fear that backlash from the NFL because they're protecting the shield. And I'm not saying that the NFL is right in this whole situation, but the hypocrisy is just enormous. You got every FanDuel, MGM bet, everything betting for football. You got betting lines that are more important than anything else in the NFL, but you don't want your players to be betting on stuff, dude.
It's over. I mean, he's probably not going to. It's going to be a hard time for him to try to make any type of team because most teams don't want. I mean, especially I hate to put him in that Pete Rose, or he may get banned for life. I mean, I know they banned Pete Rose from the Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying he may not be able to play professional football because I know you said, Sonia, he's young and 9,000 is a problem. That's a problem. That's compulsive, man. That's
part that he's not taking any. He's not taking any. Accountability for it. Yeah, that's
even after going to rehab. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so guys, we do have a little bit more news to talk about, but I want to plug in our commercial. So we're gonna all go backstage and put up these pictures of our salutants, Lawson and Pearson. Pearson, congratulations from Southwest Guilford High School, graduating in the top percentage out of 440 students. She was also top GPA athlete of her school of about 2,000. She also was PNCNA, passing her North Carolina nursing license. She will be going to UNC Charlotte in the fall, majored in nursing on her journey to become a nurse practitioner. She was also the 25-26 homecoming queen and the 2026 Miss Jabberwock for the High Point alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Pearson was also Student of the Year for Triple Threat. It is a piano, jazz, tap band outside that she has going on. She was in that. Thank you so much, Barbershop. And Pearson also worked at Tropical Smoothies. She worked at least 20 hours a week, 4.46 GPA. Congratulations to Pearson. If you notice, she had 13 cords. She had a total of 14. She was not allowed to wear the 14th one because it was from the National Honor Society, but she's been highly sought after by a lot of different organizations and thousands of dollars in scholarships. So congratulations to my niece, my daughter, Pearson Haley Jones. And next up we have
I think play our video.
Oh yeah, you do have that. Okay, we're gonna all go backstage so we can see the whole thing. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Yes, sir!
Baby girl did it.
The hell? She put us backstage. Is what happened. You gotta do that.
No, we gotta put Lawson's pictures up.
I know that. We got that. We can do that too.
We're still, so if we're still on stage, we're still visible. And I'm trying to get the whole.
Well, let me say this first, though. This is how you graduate with your class. You walk across the stage, ladies and gentlemen. You receive your diploma. You look and wave at whoever it may be. Walk off the stage, sit down. No twerking, no splitting, no dumb stuff. Bull s.
He just did
Yes, that's fine. That's perfect. That's just what you do.
yeah.
That's classy. Come on, man. That's just what you do. Congratulations, Pearson. You
Thank you
deserve the
guys
best,
so much
ma'am.
for supporting her. Thank
And
y'all
on
so
top of
much.
that girl was wearing them. She was wearing them ropes like she was in the military, wearing a whole bunch of medals, man. I didn't see nobody else but her with all that gold.
She literally had the most ropes out of her entire class. She said, "Yeah, you're ridiculous." She said that the teachers came over and was like, her chair should have really been by the stage because her name was called in every single category.
Mm-hmm.
And she made school history because she was the first to be literally decorated in every single category, all across the board. She was also played basketball. She was co-captain, track, band. When I say everything that a female could participate in at that school, she participated in and did it well. Kudos to her mom and dad, JT and Anissa Jones.
Shout out to both.
Yeah, they are actually wrapping up their family vacation right now. I can say it because they're almost home. I'm so excited that they took their first family cruise together. They sent me a picture yesterday from the DR, looking happy and everything. So, well deserved, and I couldn't be prouder. I have all my nieces are wonderful, but Pearson is the one that I've been the most hands on in because she's my baby basically. She's 18, and so now I told my sister Kelly. She has my youngest niece that I'm about to just go vulture style on her now, since Kamari is gonna be 8.
Right.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, so we'll pop up Lawson's birthday pictures real quick. Happy birthday to Lawson, big 8, big 8.
That dude is tuckered out.
Yeah, man.
There he is with his 8 cupcake.
Uh-huh.
And this is him before anything. Those balloons were no joke to blow up. Oh, I forgot Pearson's other picture.
We had that one up there already, but
Is that the one? There was another one. Okay, I guess.
that
all
was
right,
it.
I think
Yeah, this one once you gave me.
All right, we'll take us to commercial B. We'll be back, guys, in about 51 seconds.
All right.
All right, and welcome back. This applause is never long enough. Welcome back to the second half of our show. Y'all, I had to hurry and run and get my cord real quick. That thing, literally, my laptop almost died. I was in a meeting earlier. All right, real quick, we're going to talk about this NHL draft frenzy. Then we're going to go over to the big news that I know everybody's been waiting for us to talk about. 2026 NHL entry draft. By the way, haven't been on a platform with you guys since my Canes won, but shout out to my Canes. And shout out real quick to the Duke Blue Devils. They're the first team in NCAA history to win a divisional title in all categories: women's sports, men's sports, and now the football, the basketball, and the baseball as well. So congratulations to Duke Blue Devils. I don't always get involved in anything other than their basketball, but we are doing it big. So congratulations to them. They made NCAA history today. But now back real quick, the NHL draft frenzy. Pavel Dorofei is going to the Rangers, guys. New York Rangers actually acquired him from Vegas Golden Knights, the losers, the ones that just lost the Stanley Cup to my Canes, guys. They're getting rid of people already. They're not happy. They're took that L, so They are shopping people out left and right. So they shopped him on out today, and excuse me, shopped him on out today. My voice is jacked up, and he's going now over to them. And then after that, you have none other. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, he got picked up for a 26 pick, third round pick, and a conditional 2028 first rounder. The Rangers are actually locking him in with a massive 7-year extension. Kudos to him. And Brady Takachuk, the aftermath and Ottawa moves following the blockbuster trade of Captain Brady Takachuk to the Florida Panthers, which was a shock this week. The Ottawa Senators have stayed highly active, acquiring forward Andre Burakovsky from Chicago. Y'all know them, the Blackhawks. And goaltender Samuel Urson from Toronto. Now, additionally, JJ Peterka is going to Boston. The Bruins actually acquired the winger JJ Peterka from the Utah Mammoth in exchange for, you guessed it, 2 first-round picks for 2026 and 2028. B, you got anything extra on the NHL before we move over to the big NBA news?
No, other than that, the Kachuk brothers are back together again in Florida. That ought to be interesting since Florida didn't do very well this season. Toronto's making some moves. I think Toronto, this is going to be Gavin McKenna is one of the best players. Well, obviously he was the best player in the draft. They grabbed him number 1. So we'll see how he fits into the lineups here for Toronto to get them back in the – because, Toronto hasn't won a Stanley Cup since 67. So that's a long time. It's a long time. So they got to get their stuff together. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and MLB news, the only team I care about, the Braves, are playing at 10 o'clock. I told you guys that earlier. Y'all got any MLB news y'all want to add in before we get to the big news? I don't really have any. And as you hear, my voice is trying to go out on me. So.
No, not really any big news going on. World Cup, I mean, USA lost to Turkey yesterday, 3-2.
Yes, in LA, in the FIFA. Atlanta is holding games tomorrow. I am not happy that I have to drive downtown for a meeting. I'm grateful to be a part of that, but I'm like, y'all could have made this meeting virtual. They had one today, they made it virtual. Knowing that these people are going to be all over the city tomorrow is insane, but that is going to kick off tomorrow night, actually at 7 o'clock. So hopefully,
if you were going, I was going to say you're a baller because the tickets are for the cheapest seats, I believe, are $5,000.
Let me tell you something though, James. This was crazy. I don't know how they did it, but I have 2 classmates that went live inside of a game. So you mean to tell me that they were both in the nosebleed? But you mean to tell me they paid 5 stacks?
Not initially. The game before, my doctor that I work for went to one, and he told me they had really good seats, and they paid like he and only his son. They paid $3,000 total. So and yeah, and so the doctor balling like that. But he was even complaining about the next game that were going to be in Atlanta. I think it was something like semis or something like that.
Yeah, because now this is like the semi down to the last round, like Team K or something like that. I was reading up on it yesterday.
And he said the cheapers, the nosebleeds were $5,000 a piece.
Well,
right now the United States' next game is against Bosnia.
But see, they're playing theirs in LA. The United States are playing all theirs on the West Coast. This
Bosnia's
was like
kicking butt. Bosnia's kicking butt.
Yeah.
The United States is 2-1, by the way. Canada is 1-1. I'm just saying this because of the North American teams that are hosting all these games. Mexico 3-0. Good job, Mexico. Good way to represent. And France is now 3-0. One of the go-getters for winning the World Cup. So they're up there. I think Spain is playing today. I'm not sure if they are. And Spain is winning right now, and they're winning 1-0 over Uruguay. That's 90 plus 2. Don't get me to explain the times on these soccer games because I don't know how they work them. But Spain is winning 1-0, so they are going to get back into the win count and get they can be 2-1 too because they're
on top right now. Cabo Verde is playing Saudi Arabia Tied right now 0-0.
And let's not forget about Messi. Messi is the GOAT. He's a GOAT of the World Cup too. He scored every one of Argentina's goals, 5.
Yeah, he is.
And he's the first player ever, I think, to score in every World Cup that he's played in.
I saw that. I saw that.
He scored the most goals ever in World Cup.
Yeah, he's shout out to whoever his conditioner is, conditioning coach, because he definitely is, you know, he might have a career. You know, there was a was it the Panthers that signed a kicker that used to play for one of these soccer teams as a kicker, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me, I think that is our actual kicker. If not this season,
a lot of teams when they get kickers, they usually get kickers that are either rugby kickers played in Australia or soccer kickers now, because those guys can, you know, kick the ball. Kicking the ball high and over a crossbar is just something they have to adjust to. But soccer players got strong legs, and they can kick it. Rugby players do too. So
let me agree with Yenzer here. Look, I'd sooner watch bread mold before I watch soccer. And that's probably never going to happen because bread doesn't mold anymore. I don't know. I just not into it. It's hard.
Let me ask you about that, James. I know this is not. I noticed I had some bread, right, and I was wondering if it was like, what is that? I had some bread on the top of my microwave, right? Real talk. I've had that bread since I just threw it out. I had it at least 2 or 3 months before I forgot it was still up there. I opened it, feels soft. There's no mold. What is going on? I thought it was just special bread. I was like, what is happening?
Just read all the ingredients. That should scare you. And I mean, you can take a French fry now and leave it under your seat for a year, and it's still going to be a French fry. And
I found one in my truck, so that is definitely true. But look at McDonald's; they put their stuff on display. I'm still going to order it though, but wait a minute. So
as long as it's golden and hot, yes, for sure.
So you're saying bread literally scientifically does not? It was Aldi's low calorie wheat. It's the
no. Most breads now do not mold anymore. It's just some of the ingredients that prevent it for the preservatives that are in it.
Aldi's has got a lot of breads that are like that.
Yeah,
you go buy that Wonder Bread, that day old bread from the bread store. Yeah, that's why the bread stores don't exist anymore, because you're supposed to buy this stuff when it's like a day after the expiration date. There's no expiration date anymore. You can just.
That's what I was looking. I was like, "Where's the date on this bag?" And I was like, the only thing I could think of is I bought this at least 2 months ago, so I'm just gonna throw it out. But you mean to tell me I could have still eaten it?
Yeah. See, we got to say this for your show tomorrow. I mean, or whenever your show is, we got to have topics like this on your show. So when you have like things you want to talk about, like crazy stuff like that, I love to talk about that kind of stuff.
All right, let's talk about the big news as we get ready to wrap up. Yeah, I know James has worked all day. He's about to go to bed. Dizzle, you're just weird all around. Every comment is just going further and further down the toilet. LaMelo Ball, but thank you, Yenzer. You're always engaging. LaMelo Ball, guys, I was devastated. Oh my gosh, I literally just bought a Ball shirt for him like a couple of months back. When the Hornets,
you saying that trade is balls?
They traded his balls. We are devastated in Charlotte. But I saw somewhere that he got a D+ ranking his last season with the Hornets, and that their new trade, who they're getting with the Cody dude, is an A- or a B+. But this was a stunning blockbuster, kind of like when LeBron and AD got split up. That type of shock. I remember don't be quiet, Dizzle. I remember being in Hawaii and I thought it was like spoof TV, because I was like, these Hawaiians got this information wrong. But it was real. The AD and LeBron was going their separate. Was it AD and LeBron? AD and Unibrow? Him? Yeah. So I was shocked when they traded him. But anyway, this transaction is a massive part of a multi-team trade restructuring involving the Julius Randle to Brooklyn domino, and will be officially finalized on July 6th. with LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. I had to tell you guys they're going to the T Wolves. The Hornets are receiving Nas Reed, a 2033 unprotected first round pick, which means basically if they don't like the pick, they get to pick somebody else in that same round. First round pick swaps from 2028, 2029, 2030,
Sure.
and 3 second round picks from 2029, 2032, and 2033. They got a lot. So if y'all
That's a
think
good
that's a
deal.
lot,
It's a good deal for both teams, I think,
that's
because the picks are later for the Timberwolves. So in the short term, they can win in this situation. I think Lamelo
Concano.
Ball, as long as he stays healthy, he'll be. They're going to have one of the best backcourts that that's in the league right now. And a lot of people are thinking like, okay, well they're both high volume shooters. I think you let Melo be who he is, and Anthony Edwards, Ant Man, is a shooting guard. So he can feed off the ball. He can feed off the ball. They're gonna be really good in this situation. But going back to uh, Charlotte, Nas Reed is an underrated trade. I don't think people really understand. This man was sixth man of the year, and so
Mm.
he's
Mhm.
going to be a really good player for y'all at some point. He gives good quality defense on the perimeter, and I think he averages like 42, 43% from the 3 point line. So he is definitely definitely more off ball now,
And
and
Barbershop
that's going
said
to free him
they're
up.
putting
Yep,
all their
for sure.
eggs with Concanople. That's
Yeah,
And
rebuilding.
yeah,
for sure, and
that's good.
Kobe, and
Yeah,
Kobe as well,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Kobe.
Kobe
So
White. Yeah,
it's gonna. I think it's gonna be good for you guys because I
and he's
like as
still.
much as I like Lamelo Ball. I mean, look, yeah, Lamelo. I think he's a ball hog, and so I think it'll be better. And I think this is a good trade for both teams. It'll work out for both teams.
And then on top of that, there's the rumor, of course, that that the Charlotte is making some cap room because they could go after Jalen Brown.
So I
That
sent you
was
that
another one.
screenshot and I said you heard it here first. I sent that in our group chat a couple of days ago and nobody responded. Y'all probably was asleep. I said you heard it here first. $40 million has been freed up in cap space. And they said that's just enough to be able to afford Anthony Brown. So yeah, go back and look at the
Jalen.
And
text.
or Jalen Brown, yes,
Well,
and
Jalen
they also
Brown.
have they
unfortunately,
also
so
have
that
they,
I
they
saw
also
that way
have more.
before you even put it on there. So
Yeah,
They
but
also have more ammunition too, though. Those draft capital that they just accumulated, they can help. They
mhm.
can give that to
Yeah,
Boston as well. So
yep.
that it works out. You're right. They might be one of the front runners because he's definitely going to be gone by the end of this summer for sure.
well,
Mhm.
I misspoke a little bit, but I didn't because Charlotte's my team. I really should have given the analogy of the AD trade to this next conversation. Wimby, you guys. That was I'm still in shock that that actually happened. Yeah, they did give him a new contract. It's like
Mhm.
70 million or something, and
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
saw
Mhm.
today. They went all in on him.
Yeah, they have
Um,
enough assets.
yeah, the Wimby guys is the big news. Forced to carry major physical burdens, playing up to 44 minutes in crucial games. They're getting a lot of draft over there with Wimby. Guys, I'm misspeaking. I'm talking about Antetokounmpo. My bad, guys.
Yeah,
That's
Giannis.
the big trade.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Wimby because there was this video I shared with James about how he was acting at the presser. But I'm talking about Antetokounmpo. That is the one that I was not expecting Giannis to be the big trade. And so now those people are paying for a minute. But look how many players Miami gave up. I mean, Tyler Hero. I
They
mean,
gave up a
Tyler Hero
roster.
has been there forever. Um, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Khalil Ware, like they gave up their whole front. Kasparis, Jukanas, they gave up their whole front, a whole bunch of their starters to me, just for Giannis and Bobby Portis. Now I know y'all probably like just four. That's a big haul. Plus they got a 2026 number 13 overall draft pick. They got a bunch of picks from 2031, 2033,
A lot of
2030,
picks.
and
Mhm.
2033, 2 rounds. Um, but they're saying, like, look at Bam. Bam is about to be set up. Bam and Giannis. Miami, we may see a glimpse of the LeBron days with Dwayne Wade and I always call the guy T Rex. What's the guy's name that couldn't play
Chris
anymore?
Bosh.
Yes, Chris Boss. As soon as I said T Rex, you knew who I was talking about, didn't you?
Because he played for the Raptors too. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
You
Yeah.
know what she
Wow.
means the
Playing
way
for
he
the
looks.
family.
Yeah.
Playing for the family.
He played for the team that he looked like. There you go.
Yep.
Oh my God. Terrible.
Oh wow, that's a good impression.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Chris.
No
Hope
harm.
you're
No harm
well.
done.
So Giannis is in a good position, and I think Bam is in a good position. They just need a few players that they can add on to that mix, and I think it's probably with their where their cap is right now, and the amount of money. I think they're on a first apron or something like that. They're going to need minimal players, and I think a lot of the players that they let go, they sent to Milwaukee, they can be replaced. Those are
Yeah,
all
except
replaceable
he
players.
thinks he's gonna be fired though. I mean, I agree.
And they are considered to be a team also that maybe might trade Bam for Jalen Brown as well. So
What?
they
You
potentially,
know,
yeah,
they said Boston was getting their money together to try to get Giannis when they got outbid or whatever. They were
they
saying
try
that
to
they were
trade. They were
packaging
going to
together.
trade Jalen Brown.
Well, I want to
And
ask you
two
while
first
we're
round
talking
draft
to you,
picks.
James, right before I get to UB. Why? I mean, no shade. Why is Zion Williamson still continuing to be able to be a Pelican? Like he's just. I was looking at how many games he's played versus how many games he hasn't played. This is maybe the tail end of time for the Pelicans to get something out of him. Like if they trade him.
Well, because he still has talent that, and they're finally trying to build around him. I think Joe Dumars is there, and he's only
For the
had him for
older
one
player.
season. He's only had him for one season, so I
Oh,
think he has a plan to be able to utilize what he can out of him. And I'm pretty sure they sat down, and also you can see his demeanor. He's matured a little bit, and you can
Mm-hmm.
see that he's actually bought in. He's bought in. So that to me that tells me that when you have a player that's able to change his mindset, and obviously mindset meaning stop being lazy, stop you know going to the drive-through 2 in the morning, eating all kinds of things,
Beignets.
yeah,
yeah.
donuts, all kind of stuff, burgers, and people recognizing you. You got to sit. Remember the movie Police Academy when
Yeah.
Big Bubba Smith had to learn to drive Hightower, and
Yeah.
they were
Mm-hmm.
in a Honda Accord. He took the seat out. He had to sit in the back.
Yes.
To me, that's probably what Zion was doing when he was going through the drive-through. He probably, all that as big as he was, that boy looked like he didn't have no front seat. He was sitting
In
in
the
the
trunk.
second or third row. Yes, but that being said, I think that they've done some really good things with the players that they've accumulated, and they may trade too as well. Jalen Brown or Ja Morant, who's a good friend with Zion. There's
Mm-hmm.
talk about him potentially being traded down there as well. So we'll see. I like New Orleans, the potential. I think the, the Big Easy, the down there, the sky's the limit for them with Zion at the helm.
V, your thoughts?
Yeah, you got to give Memphis some credit too, though. They are trying to build a team down there. They got pretty good draft picks. They just got Isaiah Stewart from Detroit, so that should help their grit a little bit. Um, so they're building a team. I don't
Ryan.
know what they have, what their thought process is, if this is going forward with John Morant or not. We'll have to find that out, in the upcoming months. But if they can get him to stop being pistol happy,
Yeah.
he might have a chance there.
That's a bad
Um,
combination. Him and Miami, I just oof.
yeah. Um, and then on top of that, just a little bit of Piston news too. Duran is not satisfied with the contract that the Pistons had offered him. It's like, dude, how about show up during the playoffs? Then maybe you wouldn't have this problem. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking for a sign and trade somewhere. The Pistons did get Isaiah Joe from OKC, good shooter. So we'll see what happens with that. It looks like the Pistons are doing a lot to bolster up their offense by the picks that they've made so far in the draft. And speaking of the picks of the draft, we had a draft. What do you think about OKC drafting Adea Mara? That
well,
dude is 7'3".
Before you go there, I want to say about your guy, Duran. I guess he's probably looking at what you saying something about playoffs. I guess he's looking at what Austin Reeves got and saying he didn't do anything in the playoffs either. He got 4 years. He got 100.
You know what's funny about
185 million. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? Because the Pistons offered Austin Reeves a contract. I'm like, why the hell would you offer him a contract and then not get Jalen Duren? They're the same player in the playoffs versus the regular seasons. I'm not making no sense of that. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, so what do you feel about Mara going to OKC to kind of be the guy that's going to go against Wemby? Because I feel that it sounds like a desperate measure. It looks like a desperate measure that they took. They got a 7'3" guy in a draft that can guard the rim. He's a very good defender. Believe me, Mara's a very good defender. But you're going against the human cheat code. And he's a big body too now. He's 7'3", 260. That's not where Wemby's at right now. But he needs to get there, like James keeps saying too. He needs to get that bulk up. Do you think that was a smart move by OKC or a desperate move?
No, I think it was a smart move because I think they set the precedence against the cheat code by using Hardenstein, and you can see it wore him out a little bit. I mean, he came out out the gate in the WCF championship and scored 40 and 20 rebounds, but after that, you ain't see nothing close to that. You didn't see anything close to that. They bodied him up. I don't want to say like Charles Barkley, when your body's banging, when you're banging the bodies, it's terrible. Anyway, terrible. But I think he needs to put the weight on. But I think it's a great thing for OKC to get somebody like that. I mean, you want defense. The more bigs, the merrier that you have down in the post. It keeps him out of that post.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
To San Antonio too. Also, they drafted what's his name? Quaintance. What's his first name? Damn, I just lost it. But anyway, he's another guy that has length that can play defense for San Antonio and can give Wemby some help as well as kind of spell for him too during times when he has to sit down so that defensive presence won't. He's one of the best. He was one of the best defensive players in the draft. So we got to see that as well. So San Antonio they're kind of shoring up some things.
Yeah, they got to because they're all in on Wemby, and 2 games specifically, one that Wemby just being lanky cost them that game, and so they need some people around him, just if nothing else, to support him from falling into other people
or into the floor.
Into the floor. All right, guys. Well, any closing thoughts as we get ready to make like Easter Bunny? We're a little bit over, but we do sometimes. Always great conversation. Spent way too much time on Brandon Ayuk and Mr. Arnold. But I just sometimes I think I forgot I was on Friday.
TA to the BA.
Yeah, I think I started doing the legal score, trying to analyze criminal stuff up there. It just got like out there. So then we started talking about
the wrong nickname if you're going to prison. TA.
TNA. His middle name better not be an N. It's a wrap. With that, guys, we appreciate that. Jizzle said, "Don't hinder the Yenzer great show." It's been great. We appreciate everybody that likes, loves, comments. Thank you so much to Marcus Yenzer, to the barbershop. Thank you to Pink Fan Fred for the reels. Girl, I forgot to give you a shout out. We were so hyped up coming on here. And thank you everybody for always sharing all the platforms that allowed us to share on tonight. Join us in the morning. Got B and James with Jack Hirsch with the Great Debate Show. followed by shows throughout the afternoon. Of course, my show, The Legal Score, comes on at 4 p.m. And Sunday morning, the Sunday morning Big Sports Show, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you got the BW Flicks with Brian and James. That's our early week Tuesday night, I believe, special at 8 p.m., right, guys? Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
Always a great movie review. I love watching them. And welcome to all our other podcasters. We have shows here without the cost of cable, McGrath Podcast Network. With that, we wish everyone a grand final week of June 2026. This is the last weekend of this month, 6/26/26. You guys have a good night. Peace.
Before you do it, sorry. Before you do it, Independence Day. That's for our movie reviews. Is both the Independence Day movies. Sorry, I had to get that out there.
Oh no, that's right on time because next week is Independence Day, and so well, it's the week after because Thursday's the 2nd, so it's gonna go right into. But all right, Independence Day is the movie. You got Independence 1 and 2, or just 1?
1 and 2.
Let me tell y'all real quick. I watched 1 in the theater, and I remember being like, "This movie has gone on for 2 hours and nothing has happened. This is Youngsville." And then once it started, it started. So, all right, you said I'd be there.
I saw the movie there too. Yes, oh wow, yeah, that'd be great. I can. You should join in the show so we can talk about it then.
I'll be in class, but I'll try to make sure I'm there. But yeah, guys. So, all right, enjoy this 6/26/26 finale weekend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.